Before we get started, you want to make sure that you have an account with Figma. So if you don't, it's super easy and free to get started. So just go to figma.com and look for the Get Started for Free button and just follow the steps to create your account. I always like to create new accounts with my Google email, but of course you can proceed however you see fit. And once you have an account, you can decide how you want to use Figma going forward. So personally, I really like to use the desktop app. So go ahead and download that if you would like to, but know that you can also always access Figma just through your browser. That's what makes it different from a lot of other design tools, which I think is super cool and convenient, especially for collaborating. So this is what my Figma account looks like on the browser. And now I'm going to open the app. Okay, looks pretty much the same, so let's just sort of get the lay of the land here. So we're seeing teams over here, my team, which is basically just my account and my projects listed underneath. And then the reason you're seeing these other teams here is because these are essentially workspaces that certain clients of mine have invited me to collaborate in. So I can also see, access, and even edit some of the projects and files within these teams as well. But we'll just focus on my team for now. And let's just kind of take a look at the hierarchy of how Figma works in terms of file management. So like I said, first we have teams. Inside of a team, you have your different projects. So these are my projects here listed on the left, and you can also see them here if we click on my team. Inside each project are different files. And then if we hop into a file, you'll see that a file can have several different pages. And of course, within each page, you can have frames. Now, I also want to show you drafts. So you can start out a project as a draft just by clicking on New Design File, and we'll get started. But it's important to know that you can also always move these drafts into a project. So let's say I've been working on this and I want to save it into a specific project. I'll just click and drag, and I'll drag it over to my YouTube project. You can also see recent files that you've been working on. So if you kind of forgot to save something, you can always check out recent files. And you can also favorite files. So let's say I want to favorite this. I'm just gonna click this star right here. And as you can see now, this is favorited, so I can just access it really quickly upon launching the app. Okay, let's create a new project together. So I'm going to come up here and click on this plus project button, and we're gonna name it e-commerce site. So now, like I said, this is a project that we can have several files inside, but for this, we really only need one file. So I'll click on plus add design file, and let's name it furniture site. By default, you'll just be placed on page 1. And if you click here on this page 1, then it will actually organize your pages by pages. So we'll name this one UI. For this project in this class, we're not going to have tons and tons of pages, but for your purposes, you might have one really big project where maybe you have a research page, maybe you have your designs, maybe you have a page of archived designs, maybe you have a page of your prototypes, and the list goes on. So you can definitely get super organized with your screens here if you want to. You can also categorize your frames into pages if you want to stay really organized. So maybe you would have a page of all your homepage designs if you were doing different variations, a page that houses all of your product details page designs. Or maybe you're designing an app and you want to have your pages separated into flows. So maybe you have a shop tab page versus a settings page and things like that. Okay, like I said, so that we can keep track of this file, I'm going to go up into this menu and hit favorite this file. And this way, anytime we come into Figma, I can just go into this furniture site file really quickly without having to do much navigation. Feel free to favorite this file while you're working through this class just to make life easier. All right, in the next lesson, we're gonna dive deeper into this file and really get a lay of the land in terms of the interface of Figma and where you can find all the tools you'll need to start your designs.